Welcome, IAM Machinist members and allies in the labor movement. This is the 141 report, and I'm your host, Dave Lehive, a communications representative for District Lodge 141. This week, we travel to Phoenix, Arizona to speak with three important IAM members, Sister Trina David, Brother Dan Robinson, and Brother Brian Harrison. These three are members of the Fleet Service Grievance Committee for American Airlines. We'll learn about how this very large IAM Local 2559 for IAM members in Arizona helps workers with one of the best union contracts in the industry. Join us as our 141 report starts now. Hello, sister and brothers. Thanks for joining me on the 141 report this week.
Hello.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Let's get started. Can you three please introduce yourselves? Tell the viewers about who you are, your background in the airlines, and the jobs you've held in the union.
Hi, Dave. I'm Trina David. I am on the Phoenix Committee chair, and I've been a shop steward for probably about 5-6 years, and that's the only position I had. I was nominated to the Grievance Committee the year before last, and then this year renominated. So my only positions are shop steward and committee.
Hi, Dave. Dan Robinson. I have been a shop steward for about 3 years now, and then just this last year, I was nominated to the committee and elected.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Harrison. Grievance committeeman, been a shop steward for, 7 years now, maybe? Grievance committee for at least 4. Currently a part of the 141 education team, which has been really fun, and trustee for 2559.
So can you guys tell me about the Grievance Committee in Phoenix? I mean, how does that work with you guys in Phoenix?
Can I go with that?
Go ahead.
I can tackle it. Being a right to work state, I think we have a little bit of a challenge here compared to some of the East Coast stations. I've been able to actually see that firsthand, traveling a couple of times for education. And when you talk to these shop stewards, their grandpa, their uncle, their mom were all union members. Whereas in Phoenix, that's a rarity here. So I think one of the biggest challenges that we have is kind of showing people what the union is about, what we do and don't do, and just kind of introducing them to the concept of the union.
Okay. You mentioned the right to work laws. There is legislation currently circulating in Washington, D.C. called the PRO Act, which will change a lot of that mindset about right to work laws. If it isn't enacted, it will remove right to work laws. And as we know, right to work laws work against workers. They lower wages, benefits are worse, and you have a greater chance of being injured or killed on the job in right to work states. Lucky for us, we are airline workers, and we operate under a different set of laws called the Railway Labor Act, which there is no right to work legislation. So, that's some really good information our members should know about. What types of grievances do you encounter in Phoenix? And can you basically explain, in general about what you deal with on day to day in Phoenix?
So most of our grievances generally have to do with attendance write-ups and performance write-ups for members that may not complete their iLearning courses in time. Right now, we are working on a fair amount of contractual grievances with the contract that was passed this last year. The company is just not willing to acknowledge the language they signed off on, so we're having to work to hold them accountable for that.
Okay, so you three are all on basically full-time union business now. How did that come about? And I see you guys are sitting in your union office. Where's that located?
Our office is located ramp side right next to our UDO, which is where we get our equipment. So we took over the old MOD office. So it's real convenient for the members to get their equipment, come over to the union office, ask questions about the contract or get any clarification that they need to for any information they want. So it's pretty.
Trina, follow-up question. How many stewards are you dealing with in Phoenix that work with the committee?
Actually, that's a very good question. We probably have about 16 stewards now. We lost a few. We've gained about 7 more appointees. So we're in the process of getting those ramped up and trained and getting them on board. So we're real excited because we got a great selection of stewards now. We've always had a great selection of stewards, but now it's just we're growing and it's good. And we have a lot of interest, mainly because the way the company has violated the contract, that more people are now stepping up and wanting to get involved. So I guess the company not wanting to adhere to the contract has helped the union a great deal here to provide a lot more interest.
Okay, so how accessible are you three to the membership, and how do you communicate to such a large group? How many members are you dealing with in the fleet service group in Phoenix?
We've got about 1,000 members roughly. That's including cargo, tower, and ramp here in Phoenix. And as far as accessibility, if you ask my wife, way too accessible. But we're trying to figure out more of a work-life balance. We started transitioning to Facebook. We have a Google Voice hotline phone number, and Facebook Messenger. And it's been a real challenge getting that set up in the beginning. But then when COVID hit, so many people were home. We had so many people struggling with pandemic leave. And it went from struggling to get people to reach out to us to everybody reaching out to us, which is huge now. So now we have people that were maybe scared to message us on Facebook or maybe scared to send a text to our hotline, and they had to text us. And now it's normal for them. So we've really relied on that. We even kind of played around with maybe even a TikTok or something like that, just anything we can to get people involved. I think we're holding off on that till we can get some of this stuff taken care of. But we're trying anything we can to get people just to reach out to us and let us know when there are problems.
And we also have office hours. We're here 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the office itself is manned every day. And then outside of that, like Brian said, we do have communication via Facebook, Messenger, Google Voice. So we're pretty accessible.
One thing I've noticed is you've used it, especially during the pandemic, where the video updates, which I thought were awesome. You guys are giving briefings to the members. You were doing it over at the local because you went during COVID and whatnot. But I found that those were very interesting and very helpful to get messaging out to the ramp group. So my hat's off to you on that.
And Dave, one other thing that we forgot to mention about communication is we have all our shop stewards set up on a Slack, which is a way we can get information out. So if the company is looking for a shop steward, or if any member is looking for a shop steward, we can put it out there. We can also get a scribe for anyone who needs one. So Slack is really good communication we use within the shop steward grievance committee world. And then we have Facebook, whatever, to the whole population for the members.
Yeah, and Slack, like for the boomers and older millennials out there, it's basically like an AOL chat room with different rooms just for the shop stewards. So we can blast something out to them immediately and they'll all get it, which is great.
I know the local is very large. I know you have many resources available. How do you three use the building to help the union?
You know, we're pretty fortunate actually. Maybe a couple of years before COVID hit, we upgraded to a bigger suite within the same office complex. And it's got like a gigantic garage area, which the timing couldn't have been better because we were struggling. Even though COVID was happening, our stewards were still as busy as ever. So we're able to actually use that giant space and socially distance. And I think it might have been featured on the 141 page at some point months ago. We were actually able to have each shop steward with their own gigantic fold-out table, maybe 12 feet apart from each other, and we were still able to do training. We had to do it in batches instead of one big group, but we couldn't have done that without the local lodge. And then before we had this office, that's what we were based out of, was a local lodge. It's been a great resource to have. And we've held steward summits there where we had probably 25 of us in there, all of our shop stewards, Grievance Committee, and our AGC. And we were able to have everyone in the same room and just talk about all the issues. It's been invaluable.
Okay. How important is it working with other union stations on issues that you may be facing in Phoenix?
Well, it kind of is the same. Just being a union member, the whole concept of a union is to work together and improve our working environment. And we can't do that without other stations and their input and what they do, because Phoenix tends to management here tends to like to do things their own way, and it's not necessarily the right way. And they don't always want to be so receptive to our ideas. And so we have to reach out to other stations a lot to get their input on it. And then we can go back and say, hey, we do something this way in Phoenix, Charlotte, Philly, Dallas, Denver. They all do things in the same way that's different to us. So we try to reach out to them as much as possible to get ideas on how we can improve it here.
I did a 141 report not too long ago with Charlotte, and I spoke to Daryl Kern. He spoke very highly of, excuse me, of Phoenix, and he thought it was great that we were able to, have that interaction between the committees to be able to talk. You guys have any comments on that?
It's Daryl's been awesome, especially the Charlotte team.
Yeah.
I warmed up to him pretty quick because you know how it is, bunch of union guys. There can be a bit of a macho attitude there, and you don't ever want to go to someone for help because it can make you look weak. But that's never been the case with Daryl. We'll ask him something, he'll answer it immediately with an honest answer. No fluff, no other stuff. Just this is how we're doing it. How do you do it there? And we've been able to kind of leapfrog over each other in a lot of ways by doing that.
With this past year, I'm sure our members were very happy to have concluded our industry-leading contract. How do you think things would have gone if our workforce would not have been in a union? We would have been non-union. How do you think that things would have played out?
I think we would have been decimated being a right to work state. I think the company would have just done what they did with other airlines. They would have gotten rid of all the leads, cut off all the senior people with no reason why. So it was pretty good timing that our contract came out right when the COVID was hitting, because all our members were pretty well protected, and we were quick at hand to inform them of their contractual rights on the do's and don'ts.
Who do you guys go to when there's a major issue? You have to elevate something. Who do you speak to on the district level that will help you out and work to resolve problems that you may have?
Well, that would be our AGC, Pat Resler, who is actually, he's been quite invaluable. He's always there to answer our calls or text, even when he's supposed to be taking time off. So he's never failed us.
And when Pat was in negotiations, we were fortunate enough to have we call him our cool uncle, Uncle Mike Marano out of Vegas as our second AGC for Phoenix. Has been a huge help, and Pat was indisposed.
Mike is the man. He does a great job for us. He does.
They're great. I mean, we reach out. Actually, all our AGCs have because we met Mark Basket and Fairbanks. I always want to call them a different name.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. We got some good guys out there helping us out.
Yeah.
Before I close out the interview, I always like to give my guests the opportunity. Is there anything you want to mention about the IM, or something that's on your mind that you want to get out to the viewers that are watching this program?
I just would like to say thank you to everybody in all the other stations. Like, I know we reach out to Denver a lot. Charlotte by far is our go-to station. We also reach out to Denver and Philly. So we just appreciate going amongst each other to share ideas and comments and questions and stuff. So without their guidance on what worked and what didn't work and how to go about it has been invaluable to us. We're a pretty new committee. Both Dan and myself, we were only shop stewards for a little while, and now we're on the committee. So there's no guidebook. So going to other stations and the AGCs, they've just been a blessing in disguise.
Okay,
So I just want to say thanks to all you guys for always answering our calls and text.
well, that's great. Well, this finishes out this week's 141 report. I want to thank you, Trina, Brian, and Dan for taking the time out of your busy schedules to talk about the work you do for the membership in Phoenix.
Thanks for
Hey,
having us,
thank you.
Dave.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dave.
thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, and to all our viewers, our numbers continue to go up each week as our 141 report and social media posts continue to reach more and more viewers, thanks to you all sharing our content with your fellow union members, friends, and family. It is so important that you like, subscribe, follow, and share our 141 reports and messages from im141.org's website. Keep yourselves in the loop by subscribing to our email by signing up from our website. That's all for this week. Everyone have a safe weekend. Bye for now.